So the first clap is mine, second is yours.
How exactly does a band run its business? Because running a band is not related to just performing your art on stage for your audience, but it's also sustaining yourself.
Yes.
And running a business. And ticket sales is not the only thing that fills up your pockets. So what all are the other avenues that you as a band, Nemophilis as a band, pursues to fill up their pockets, and what all are the avenues that you individually look at? As in Kshitij Kumar individually looks at, Akar Singh individually looks at, Saurabh Lodha individually looks at to fill up their pockets, to sustain themselves, sustain the band, take care of your lifestyle.
Makes
What
sense.
do you guys do?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And all right, so historically speaking, this is the live music scene, playing live, and the tickets, as you said, is not the only source of music. So back in the day, bands used to have cassettes and CDs, right? So let's say a label, let's say Sony something or whatever, Warner Brothers, there's a label. What they'll do is they'll invest like $100,000 into a band. They'll give them a recording deal. So they'll listen to their demos first and check out the members and make those changes what they want. They give them a recording deal. They get them into the studio. They pay for the studio, the mixing guy, the recording guy, mixing guy, mastering guy. Then they get it printed, the CDs and the cassettes and whatnot, and the merch, and then they pay the transportation cost, and then they pay to put it on the shelf, and then the amount comes back in, and then they take the cut, they pay the band, they line up shows, they line up a lot of things, interviews and TV appearances and whatnot. So all of this, basically label was the one whole and soul, like, the parent thing that took care of a band. Right now, I don't know if there's a shortage of labels, or labels are finding it hard to sift through the noise, but unfortunate reality of our situation is that there is no label. We are an independent, unsigned band. So whether you hear anything from songwriting to recording to mixing, mastering, releasing, getting the gig, travel, stay, I don't know, negotiations, everything that you see goes through the band. Like, there is nothing that we do not do. I mean, we wish, in fact, video, like a music video concepts, we like to be a part of all of that. Of course, you've worked with us. Promotions, video edit, anything, man, like anything that we can get into, we do that. We do not have the luxury of standing by while everything happens. I mean, as I keep saying in every single interview, that I wish this was the 80s and all we did was drugs and write songs, but but that's not the reality of our situation. We need to be everything. Second thing is, in today's day and age, being a musician is not you having a guitar and a good voice and you being a good songwriter. That accounts for barely 10% of your skill as a musician in today's day and age. Now,
and with the reach of education, there are so many people that have emerged with their talents, and so many people have gained the education, gained their skills, and have like become good singers, have become good musicians.
Yes.
So there's a lot more competition as well.
Yeah, so that's what I referred to when I said sifting through the noise. So due to technological advancements in the last 20 years, not 20 years, 15 years, I'd say, the audio quality that you can get at home for like dirt cheap, like 10,000 rupees to get a Scarlett and a mic and a headphone, you're good to go. Like, that's what we released our whole catalog with, and nobody can tell, not biggest studios, and nobody can tell the difference between a recording quality. The mixing we were kind of learning, and we're still learning and like doing all of that. But yeah, now the thing is, if we have gained access to that technology, anybody with 10,000 rupees can as well, right? So it's harder for labels to sift through that noise and find, like, say, okay, this is the band that I like, and this is what these are the people that I'd like to work with. So that is getting harder for labels, I believe, from their perspective. But yeah, there is a lot more competition, some good, some bad. So, but yeah, it's very accessible is all I mean right now. So That's
so
what.
if it's not about the technical expertise, then it's definitely about the kind of sound that people are looking for, the kind of sound, the kind of music that people enjoy or the label enjoys.
Yes, yes.
So is that the factor that informs, that affects their decision making for labels?
Yes, like now it has become a vicious circle. So I'm going a little critical of my own community and of my thing, but the thing is, I believe in any community, whether music or religious or whatever you name it, the change has to come from within. So it's people like us at the forefront who criticize this thing in order to bring a change. So my biggest criticism of this is, if you see a festival lineup of 20 years ago, let's say, pick out a rock festival and look at the lineup, they are identical to what we have right now. That is what I find pretty crazy. Like well, if you won't find even one band's difference, there is no new band in the past 20 years that get that big of a stage. So I love these bands, but same Linkin Park, Slipknot, Disturbed, Metallica, these big players, that's what people want to see. So the organizers put them in the catalog for that festival. Now people see them because organizers are putting them on the catalog. Now it becomes a circle. Like, is the organizer putting these bands up because because people want to see them? Yeah, but people are seeing these bands because organizers are putting them in the catalog and they are not giving new people like us as a chance. So now it's become a circle. Now I don't know what came first or how to solve this, but that is a huge problem. Compare this to any other normal pop music festival. Every year's lineup varies so widely, you wouldn't find one common artist between last 5 years and last 1 year, in fact. So that is a real problem in rock, and that's not only with the live music, that is also with the labels, or somebody to put money into us. Like they would be hesitant, because I mean, let's be honest, like rock is a dying genre, and live performance is a very dying art form. It's mostly a necessity for most pop musicians that I meet and I have friends with, rap musicians and pop musicians. Like, the energy that we bring, the joy that we get, I see a lot of people don't get that. It's like a thing like, damn, now there's another tour I have to do because I release new music. If they could, they would just release music on Spotify and release it on YouTube and sit back home from the royalties and whatever thing that they get. And that's not the case with us. So yeah, the live music becomes the only source of income. To come back full circle from the first question, unfortunately that's the only way that a band can earn right now, in my opinion. Yep.
And you told me that anybody could maybe record music with an initial investment of 10,000.
Yes.
So what is the kind of investment that maybe you or your band has done to sort of now gain the audience that you guys have? And could you also talk about the audience that you guys have gained?
Yeah.
And how many years it has taken you, and what kind of audience do you guys have right now?
All right. So I think the biggest investment that we are doing, it will be a little weird as an answer, but like, the biggest investment that I believe that we are doing is investing the prime years of our life into this art form, into this game, into this bet that it might not even come to fruition. Maybe, I don't know, it leads to nowhere. Like,
you still think so?
Yeah, like the uncertainty of it is a very cool and happy thing, and that keeps things exciting. But to be honest, as we grow older, as we come closer to our 30s, it feels like, damn, all the people that of our age, they are they are doing things that are of their age. So I know I can't have it both ways, that I get all the conventional benefits while choosing an unconventional life. So I'm very well aware of that fact. But yeah, that's what I think. So I think that's the biggest investment we are making. Apart from this, the technical thing for anybody to get started, just a normal audio interface, a earphone, headphones, and a mic. That's all you need to get your thing started, or a guitar cable or whatever that you wanna use. So that is all you need, and then the investment
So
would
from
yeah.
So from you, I wanted sort of a figure. If you could, tell me an approximation of how much money have you invested when you started off in your initial years. Like a guitar would cost maybe like a 4,000,
Right,
5,000 bucks.
right,
Just like
right.
an audio interface, headphones
The
would cost about 10,000 bucks.
right
And apart from that, is there any kind of
investment is not as much
education?
as of money, I would say, than it is of time. So for example, even if I hand you a interface, a mic, and a headphone, now it takes a lot to record it, align it, time correct it, pitch correct it, learn all those craft, and then mix it and master it. That is a investment of time. All that knowledge is free. You don't need to go to a college. I can tell everyone that right away. I haven't been to a music college. I went to an engineering college. The two members from my band, they have gone to a music college, but it is not necessary, and you can do it yourself. Like that's how I have done. Whether that is learning guitar, learning vocals, learning how to record or mix, or anything, video editing, shooting, whatever, you can do it on your own. But once again, the investment becomes of time. Now that time you could have been investing into doing something that that will pay you in the very near future. So leaving that,
Definitely.
you are locking yourself up in a room, learning different skills that might not lead to something, that might not come to use, that might not pay you in the even in the long run. So that is a investment, is I think once again of the time and of the mental space to like to stick to it. The monetary aspect is not really that much. Buy a 10-15k acoustic guitar and a 10-15k interface or whatever, you are good to go. But now you'll have to learn how to play that guitar, learn how to sing, or learn whatever you want to do with that said thing. So that's the real investment in my book, of time, of mental energy, and yeah, like betting on that thing of like of making something out of it. That's what I think. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, touring is one way that you guys make money. So, what is an approximate, if you guys have an event, let's say on a weekend, once a month?
Yeah.
So, what's the kind of money that you pull it through that event?
Okay. So right now we've been doing this for a couple of years. That's number one. Number two, we have been extremely lucky to have found the right people at the right time, right opportunities, and all of that. One of them being the Linkin Park show that we did in Phoenix, Pune. That helped us out a lot. And
When was this?
this was, I think, right after the lockdown, 2021 or 2022, I think. I'm not sure. March. So it's been
Yeah, the first lockdown ended in 2021. Yeah.
2021. So I think it was the first lockdown ending or the final lockdown, maybe. But it's been 2 years that we have been trying to do both. Before that, we were doing gigs, but we had like 6 songs out, and that's the thing. Like we. Back in the day were not earning as much. So if I give you a figure of what we are earning, is going to be completely different from a newer band. But to give you an overview of how the financial aspect of this works is, either you can have a landed deal or you can have a ticketed deal. That's the way things are. Now the landed deal could be, let's say the venue's like, okay, we are going to give you 20,000 rupees, nothing else. You come in and play the show and go stay, eat, whatever in that 20,000. That is your playing fee, that is your traveling fee, that is your staying fee, that is all. Now if I say I want let's say 20 plus, that means 20 plus travel ya fir stay. If I want 20 plus, that is 20 travel plus stay, something like that, right? So I'm giving a very basic figure. In the initial days of your career, you will not get to see anything above 20, 30, if you're very lucky, 40k. if you're very lucky. I can't name names right now, but I know bands who are having 8, 10, 12 members and they play NH7 for the past whatever 4-5 years and they're still playing for 40-50k. All right, so that is the landed aspect of this. Second thing is a ticketed thing. So the venue would be like, let's say, Antisocial, or some other venue. Like they give you a ticketed deal. It doesn't matter if you're a small band or a big band or this band or that band. You get a ticketed deal. However many people come in, the entire amount goes to you. Okay. And whatever the bar sales,
they don't charge a cut.
Nothing. They don't charge any cut.
Don't charge. Okay.
Yeah, they don't charge a cut. You make the ticket link. You sell the ticket. All is up to you. Also, they will pay for your tech. Some of them, not everybody. Some of them are nice. Some they will also pay for your tech. Some would pay for your travel and stay. I know a couple of venues like that do that. And they give you all of the gates. All the bar sales and the food sales is going to be theirs. So that is a pretty good deal as well, ticketed. But the thing is, now it's the burden of promotion lies either on an organizer's shoulder or my shoulder, right? So if you give me a landed deal, I don't care if there is going to be 5 people, 50 people, 500 people. I don't care. I'm getting a landed deal. I get on stage.
You're getting your money.
Yeah, I'm getting either way, right? So the burden of promotion now lies on your shoulder as an organizer. But if I have taken a ticketed deal, now the burden of promotion lies on my shoulder. The organizer should care, but honestly doesn't care if there's going to be 5, 50 or 500 people. You earn whatever you earn. So now the promotion, it lies on your shoulder. Now, which one do you take? What deal is better for you? Whatever. I don't know. It's very subjective. It's very, I don't know. It's very...
how much are the tickets on an average? Like, how much does a ticket
500. 500 is a very good price to keep. Some of them give 500 plus cover or include cover within that, or 500 is a very good starting point.
Like a redeemable charge. Like
cover is yes. So
a drink or food.
Yeah. So some of the venues that we know, what they do is they put out, okay, the ticket is going to cost 500, but when you come with your ticket, they're going to charge 500 more, and that is going to be a redeemable cover charge. What that means is you can spend it as a cash coupon in the bar, in the food restaurant, whatever, but that much you have to spend. So this way the venue is insured and assured without a shred of doubt. The some sale would happen, because I know people like in rock and metal community. Once again, I'm hating my community so bad. I'm just critical. It's just like there are not a lot of rich people in rock, and let's just put it that way. It's not a rich man's music. It's a rich man's music to play, but it's not a rich man's music to hear. That's how it is. But anyway, the people are young is what I mean. They are like students and stuff. They can't afford a 600 rupee beer that they would get for 100 or 200 outside. So they would just come, pay for the ticket and stand at the front and have a good time and go back home. So to assure that, ensure that thing does not happen, this is what the venue does. They put out a cover charge so that at least something people are spending, so that's what that is.
And when you mentioned an organizer, so organizers are not, every time the organizer is not the person from the venue, but an organizer could also be a middleman.
Very well.
Let's say, so let's say there's the venue is like a mall, an arena, and there's an organizer, and you guys are the band, and you guys are earning via ticket sales. So the owners of the promotion, owners of pulling in the crowd is up to you. What does an organizer do here, and how much cut does he charge from you guys?
Right. Okay. So once again, different organizers have different kind of a thing going on. So some people, like organizers, they would be like, okay, you know what, guys, I'll line up gigs for you. That's all I'm gonna do, and I'll charge anywhere between 12 to 15% of that. So all I'm gonna do is line up the gig. Rest all you have to take care. Okay.
So then he takes the cut. Yeah.
Yeah, and then once the payment has been made, he takes the cut. Now
Of ticket sales.
no, off not the ticket sales of whatever amount you're generating, whether that's a landed deal or whether that's a ticketed deal. So this guy would take a cut.
If you're selling merchandise and other things.
That's another thing. Now that's getting into the micro of it. Like, so the macro picture is key. That guy would charge whatever you make, 12% of that, let's say. Now whether that's a landed thing, whether that's a ticketed thing, are you earning through merch or are you earning through whatever it is, that is getting into, like, you know, like he will discuss that. But most of the organizers, they'll just put out a cut. Okay, 12%. Now for 15%, what that guy will do is he would also get the money out from the whatever institution. Let's say somebody is infamous of holding back money, which is very common in venues and venues across India. So what he will do is he'll try to get that money back. That's one thing an organizer do. Some organizers get your tech sorted. So let's say you don't have an sound engineer who talks to the venue or the sound guy or the back and forth. So your point of contact, the POC, your organizers become the point of contact for that venue. So whatever you want, you tell that organizer, he conveys it over and negotiates or whatever on tech or whatever that deal is. So different people do different things.
Organizers, yeah. So in this case, organizers need to be educated themselves in sound.
Yes, they really need to be. They really need to have a good. So I would wish that was the case, but most of the organizers are not like that. They just do whatever they think would happen. But
हवा में रहता है.
yeah.
इंडस्ट्री में कोई ना कोई लोग रहते हैं जो like कर लेते हैं, देख लेते हैं, opportunity है.
Yeah, they are not in it for the right reasons. Let's just put it that way. They're not in it for the right reasons. They are in it for the money. They don't care who's playing, what deal are you getting. They would have 6 to 8 bands playing every night, and I'm talking like smaller venues instead of so the organizers, again, there are tiers to bands. There are tiers to organizers. The quality of your work and the quantity of your work determine that tier. Some of the bands, their philosophy, some solo artists or some bands, their philosophy would be, okay, I'm gonna do one good gig every 2-3 months and earn barely anything. How about I do like 5,000 or 2,000 rupee ke gig, but every day, like sometimes 2 times a day. I'll play a brunch gig and I'll play a night gig, and over the course of a month I'll have, I don't know, 60, 80, 1 lakh rupees ready for myself, and I'll keep myself busy and I can do whatever, this, that. So that is one way to do it. That's what organizers do as well. There are
are there that many venues that hire artists to
Yes, there are, but then those venues will be paying you much less in money and in respect and in tech, in everything. They will but the thing is, the good side of that is key. There would be an influx of cash coming every month to you, and you're not sitting idle doing something.
Maybe for the artist, and maybe for like a newer artist, that also counts as putting in those 10,000 hours practicing their art.
That's
and
that.
Log sun rahe, nahi sun rahe. That's fine. I'm doing a jam session and people are listening to
Perfect.
me. Getting paid
look at it. If you're starting out and you look at it that way, that is a very good way to look at it. If you get it, once again, we were talking about organizers. So there are organizers who have artists like these, 6 to 8 artists playing every night. So artists, there are different artists and bands that do that, or musicians, solo musicians, whatever, and there are organizers who do that. I don't know which philosophy is the right way to go. We have our own thing, they do their own thing, and one works for the other. It's just the way things are. But what I have noticed happen in that scenario, and it's my personal opinion, that whether that is artist or organizer, they become very money oriented. Then they don't care about the progress, they don't care about releasing new music or content or anything. All they care about is how much am I getting paid tonight, and where can I get the gig tomorrow, and how much more I can do. So that becomes the wrong reason, because then in my opinion, stops being art and it stops being enjoyable. It just becomes a job. You are, instead of going to the office at you're just trading one office for the other, in my opinion. And I've tried that. It just didn't work out for me, and I could feel that mindset shifting in me as well. Like I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I don't have to jam, I don't have to practice. This is so beneath my skill level. All I have to do is play chords and barely improvise on some random 3 chord 4 chord progression, and I'm getting paid 5k every night. Like, that's pretty cool. It's a double-edged sword is all I can say. So it's, if you can manage yourself in the right temperament and right reasons, and be in check and be honest to yourself as to why you're doing this and how are you going to move forward, then yes, please get into it however you want.
So a couple of questions that pop into my mind again are, what are the tiers of venues? So what kind of so that could be like a restaurant, that could be a cafe, where you have gigs on the weekends, on the weekdays, because some restaurants I know have like a Tune In Tuesday kind of a thing.
Yes,
where
yes.
Every Tuesday they'll have an artist playing or a band playing, and they'll pull a certain kind of a number of crowd, number of audience, and that could also be like a ticketed event, and you could have like a one-off weekend gig where there's like a prominent kind of a setup, prominent kind of a location where bands come in and events happen once a month or twice a month, and it, like, since it's like an exclusive, not exclusive, but happens once or twice a month.
Yes.
So then, and on the weekend, so a lot more crowd comes in, and the kind of crowd comes in that is also kind of rich.
Yes.
So what are the kind of numbers, as in, what is the amount of crowd that comes into these venues? Could you explain? Because I only have a certain kind of idea.
Yeah.
And then how is it different to an arena, or like Mahalakshmi Lawns, or like a Dublin Square, Phoenix?
Right.
How are the numbers different? What are the kind of numbers that you pull in? What are the tickets? Tickets ka charge kya hota hai?
Okay. So, look, let's say a venue exists irrespective of what tier it is, and it has a certain capacity, certain charge or whatever. So whether that is I don't know, Mahalakshmi Lawns as you mentioned, or Geo Gardens or whatever, so it's a 20,000, 25, 30,000 capacity place, right? So the players are gonna be much bigger, right? Backstreet Boys, they came in there, they deserve that stage, because if we announce Backstreet Boys, even if we don't promote it that well, we are gonna sell 25,000 tickets easy, 25,000 tickets easy. Now I can charge them for crazy high rate. For example, I can charge 8k, 10k starting, which is pretty crazy if you think about it in Indian value, but if you convert it into like dollars or euros or pounds or whatever, it's not really that much, but so that's what they charge.
Because Backstreet Boys has a legacy and they are like an international band. What about like independent bands? So I don't know many independent bands in India
that can sell out a arena.
Pull that kind of a crowd.
Yeah, there are none.
I wanted to ask you, in the Indian, there are none?
There are none. I think there are none. I wish there were, but there are none that can sell out an arena.
Even if it's not 8k a ticket, let's say like a band. Are you aware of Agni, the band?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so let's say a band at the stature of Agni. What is the kind of ticket sales that they would generate, and what is the kind of crowd that they would pull?
Let's say bands of that caliber, of that legacy, and of that age, because they've been there since the early 90s, whether that is your Parikrama or Agni or Indian Ocean and all of these old guys, even if we keep 0 rupee as ticket, I don't think they can sell out. I mean, it's pretty obvious they can't sell out a Mahalakshmi Lawn or Geo Garden. They can't sell out 20,000 people, in my opinion. If people walk in and they realize, there is no money involved, let's just have a good time, whatever, even then I'd be as generous as possible. I think 5,000 people are going to show up at best. I'm talking the biggest numbers, the biggest venues with the best promotions, That is the reality of our situation here. Once again, the original music, the whole discussion comes back to the Bollywood versus indie wala thing, because the scope for growth and the space for original music is very less in India. Let's say take Germany or Sweden for example, where people do not speak English as their language. They have their own Swedish or German respectively, right? So they have the most number of bands coming out in English, like from the 70s, like that is your ABBA, or 80s mein Europe, or right now you have David Guetta or Ghost or whatever bands that you look at, it's all Avicii, everyone is Swedish. And the only reason that I could find, apart from them having music as a course ever since in school, is that there is no Bollywood. So if a layman, a normal person wants to listen to music, all they have is artists like these, right? There is no Bollywood. Now Bollywood, I'm not saying to boycott or I don't know whatever do for Bollywood. Bollywood is a one-stop solution for all of that. So think of it like small kirana dukans versus a D-Mart. D-Mart has everything for much less prices at one place. What genre you want, what style you want, how you're feeling, everything is there at one place, and it is catering to your needs. It morphs with time, and it brings, I don't know, better visual, better production, much more money, and like, you know, a lot more with it. Why would you be like, hey, I don't want that, what I want is this, I want small kirana dukans which are whatever gonna do like, you know, however, like independent music, because I want that authentic rawness or whatever. That's not the reality, right? So original music already is...
That analogy might be a little flawed, because kirana dukans are more accessible to people. In this case,
yeah. No, so indie artists are very accessible. That's the thing. Indie artists are very accessible. You can meet them, you can, I don't know, text them, they would respond to you. They're not that really famous. You can tell them, you can critique their music. Dude, I've had people coming up and they're like, hey, you know, you could have put this over there, and like, you know, you could have changed the album listing. You can't do that with a Bollywood album. Who do you call to tell, like, who do you text? You know, so like we are very accessible in that way. And I'm using indie as a very wide blanket statement once again, because indie could be a lot, you know. Anybody who's not Bollywood is also called indie, but they're pretty much signed to big giant labels, and they're also carrying the tag of indie. So when I say indie, I just I don't want to like, you know, unequivocally, I just want to clarify indie to me is being unsigned, having no financial backing or nothing from any label or any organization or any movie or nothing. So you're just you, and that's it. So that's what indie means to me. But yeah, that's the reality of a situation, and that's where original music is. When it comes to playing covers and tribute, or like, you know, like 80s rock night, or Linkin Park tribute, or whatever, like tributes or something like that, yeah, now people would be interested. Okay, now I want to get out of my house, pay a certain amount and experience this, because they are not going to be able to see, I don't know, 80s ke bands now, at least not in their prime, you know. And they would want a compilation of this music playing via band live and have a good time. Now they want to do that. So people who want to go out to listen to original music, it's very rare. Like, I mean, you can be honest with yourself. Like, when was the last time you were like, let me go out and check out an original band, and I'm gonna hear their album all the way till I reach their gig, and then I'm gonna hear them play their original songs live. It sounds funny.
You guys, I'm waiting for you guys.
Yeah, like, thank you. Like I know that
you guys to do an original music album tour. And
yeah,
come to all of the shows.
We have finished 3 original tours already since the last year. We're gonna do it again in an acoustic format, because we are re-releasing the album in an acoustic format. So it'll be like an album re-release, and like, you know, doing that because we wanna, what do you say, like we want it to be accessible, because as soon as people hear a wall of distorted guitars and loud drums in the mix, they're already out, they're already tuned out. And like, you know, breaking it down to just acoustic bare bone format, and releasing it, I think would really help out.
Makes it reachable to the kind of audience.
Yes, at least like my mom, I can. Yeah, I can show it to my mom, and she'd be like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I can actually make out what the words are, like what's being said. So yeah.
That is one of the biggest reasons people are like, yeah, I can't the drums and guitars are very loud in your mix, because people are used to listening to Bollywood or pop mixes where vocals are up here and everything is somewhere behind, In rock it's like vocals are inside the mix, they are not over the mix. So they're like, I can't really tell what you're singing, what's being said, and this and that. So acoustic, I think, would clarify, because it has a lot more space to it in its thing. So yeah.
So what the thing that we were discussing, you were telling me about covers and tribute shows. So would it be right to say that any independent band to generate ticket sales and to pull in a bigger crowd, they have to sort of piggyback on the legacy of a larger international bands? Would that be
I wouldn't call it necessary or mandatory, because there are so many artists who have done it without that.
Defied it.
Yes,
Okay.
who have defied it. But once again, you have to be very, very lucky at the right place at the right time in order to catch that wave and ride it successfully. In India, I don't think anybody has done that. So if I take example of, once again, Agni, Parikrama, Indian Ocean, it has taken them 20-25 years to even get to the place that they want to get. So they were playing big shows and whatnot, but it's very hard for them to get there. And once another thing, to the best of my knowledge, they do not earn 100% of everything through the band itself. I think they are doing other things, whether that is teaching or whether that is doing some other things. Everybody is into that. Even people of that stature, people of that level, they still are doing a lot more to keep themselves afloat, and that is the reality, and that is very scary to me. So if I spend 20 years doing just that and not piggybacking off anything and getting doing whatever, I can do that. It's going to be a little harder, but right now, if we can manage both the sides of having original music and then of having commercial music is what I would call. So there are really good bands, whether metal or jazz bands or whatever, just like musicians, they do their food for soul music, which does not give them any earning, in fact takes away their earning, and then they do their Bollywood set. So for us and for any band to do tribute or any classic rock night or whatever that it is, that will give you some amount to work with, some money, some real hard cash coming in, so that you retain these musicians and tell people, okay, we are not just screwing around, there is a possibility of earning something to this, and we invest this money into the band, whether that is in recording, production or whatever, then I think you can get somewhere. Because unless you are very loaded and you have infinite amount of you can invest 1 lakh rupee into the band every month, whether that's in promotion, recording, mixing, mastering, whatever, and are okay with not earning for next 5 to 10 years at least, then yeah, you don't need it. But we are not really that rich. We wish we were. So what we do is we earn the money through band and we put it back in the band itself. We don't keep anything for ourselves. So that way we are generating some noise, generating some momentum, things keep happening, we are getting to know, we are collecting experience, money keeps coming in, and we can level up or do whatever we want. So that's the way that we look at it. But as far as I can see in the music industry, it's very hard for you to get there, which is when I say there is earning through this music, whether that is playing live or royalties or whatever, getting there just by your original music in rock and in metal, it's very hard. I would say almost impossible. I would go as far as to say that. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that's sort of like bleak.
I know.
Leaves me
It's very
without
bleak.
hope. I hope that's not the case.
I wish that was not the
But
case. I wish that was not the case, but to be honest, I'm happy that it is this way. At least there is something, at least there is a way,
okay,
as opposed to not being any way. So, had we not found this outlet, had we not given this opportunity, had we not seized it, had the right people not seen it or filmed it, and we have put it up, we would have been stuck. We would have not have this perspective, oh, that there is a way. We would have, there is no way. I would have gone on to do something else. My friends, my bandmates, and people who are involved with us, who see that there is something happening, would not want to be involved with us. Like, people have worked with us for no money whatsoever, because they look at the band, they have hopes that, okay, these guys are something, they can do something, we like that, but that momentum would have died off right then and there. So I'm happy that there is at least a way. I wish that there were better infrastructure. I wish that Bollywood wasn't as big as it is, and Bollywood deserves to be that, because they are from, I don't know, 100 years ago. And I wish Bollywood incorporate smaller artists much more. I wish that there were so many things that if I start talking about them, we'd be here forever. But all in all, I'm very happy that there is a way that we can make it. And yeah, one day, I don't know, we get there. And one last thing I would like to say is, like, if you're a starting band, or if you're an organizer, or if you're whatever listener, don't think that live music, no, not live music, original music is the end all be all of everything. If you, like, there are, I've seen bands, they are getting pressured, like new bands and old bands, and now that we're releasing music, they approach us and they ask us these things, and they are like, oh my god, I can't release original music, I don't know what genre to stick to, I don't know what to say, I have so much to say, I have nothing to say, there's so many things. And if you don't have anything to say, if you don't want to do it, it's okay, play covers, just, it's fine. Like, this narrative that everybody is being thrown around, that original music is the only right way of music, or that's the end all be all, or you're a fake whatever, tribute whatever, don't listen to them. You do you. Original music is not the end all be all. If you want to do it, keep doing it. It is food for soul, and it will get you somewhere. It might not get you somewhere. You do it for your own happiness, and, like, however it gets, whether 100 views or 100,000 views, it doesn't matter. You keep yourself afloat. There is no fixed blueprint, so everybody's reality is different, so anybody can do anything. But yeah, this narrative of original music is the only way and the end all be all also needs to go, because a lot of people are now struggling with it. I see, like, they're like, oh my god, what do I do? I can't write original. It's okay, don't do that. You do you. Whenever it comes, just put out one single and then boom, disappear.
Yeah,